I'm only the second best priest in the country. The second best priest. The second best. The second best. The second best. The second best. This video is going to be going over the proposed power level and portal progression changes as per yesterday's TWAB from Bungie. So this video is going to go over the main details regarding it and what the outcome of all that may well be live in the game. I'm going to go through all of that. Before I go into the video, I just want to state this image here. You'll see that obviously, as we know, Edge of Fate released 15th of July this year. That is exactly 73 days from 15th of July to 26th of September, which is today. My Edge of Fate featured playlist has 70 Edge of Fate based videos in it, not including today's, which will be 71. So that'll be 71 videos in 73 days. I'm pointing out to you that the upload schedule of my channel has done as good, or as I've worked as hard as I can for you, right? The King of the North has provided you entertainment during a time of hardship. I want to get, if we can, to 50k subs before Renegades or around about that time, because YouTube will then regard me as a medium-sized channel once I hit 50,000 subs. I appreciate it if you can. If you can't, that's all right. You're still watching the video and still supporting anyways. So if we come to the main points of yesterday's TWAB, now I've sort of categorized it into little bits, little tidbits, and you'll see some images on screen. I'm not reading the full TWAB. I'm not reading the full TWAB. I want to focus just on the power and progression situation. So you'll see a graph on screen of all the power bands that are going to get adjusted. So for example, where it says normal copper 10 to 100, it says +4 will go to +5. So when the arrow's saying it's going to +5, it will be +5. So everything's changing by 1 power each. However, that 1 power is very significant. It's not just on paper, it might not look so much, but in game, it's a massive difference. So let me read this graph. So for the power ranges from 10 to 100, for normal copper, that's the reward ratio, that rank that you're at. You're at copper during those power levels, right? At normal difficulty, between 10 power to 100 power, C grade will grant you now a +5, but when this change go live, it will be +5. A B rank will be +6, and an A rank, if achieved at that level, will be +7. Right? Now, I asked for +5, and people called me mad. I said that most drops should be just +5. And people were like, what? You're mad. I was like, how am I mad for asking for that? No, I'm not. Right, next difficulty, advanced, still, milestone is copper. The power range between 100 to 200 power. A C rank run will get you +4 power bonus. A B grade will give you a +5 bonus. And an A rank will give you +6 bonus between 100 to 200 power range. Expert difficulty, which is milestone bronze, between power ranges from 200 to 300, right? This will give you, at a C grade run, a +2 power bonus. At C+, it'll be +3. At B, it will be +4. And if you do attain an A grade rating at that level, it'll be +5. Again, that's good. Now, this is the most common power level that people are between. Believe it or not, the power range for master difficulty for milestone silver between 300 power and 400 power. This is where most guardians are at, by the way, because most people tapped out around this range. This is the average power level of the average of the community base, player base, that is. Right? So this affects the most players out of any other power band. I hope you understand it. Most players aren't even above 400. They're not even above 400. All right. So if you attain a C+ rating, you have to attain a C+ minimum to get a +1 drop. Right? The B grade, if you attain a B grade on that, it'll be +2. Or after the changes. A B+ will be +3. And an A will be +4. That's massive. That's massive. Being able to get +4 drops between 300 to 400 power will significantly increase that power grind massively, right? A +4 is huge power bonuses, right? It really is. Especially when you scale it up with the completion drop rates. So say you do Encore, it's free completion rewards. You're getting free +4s. There's no way you're getting bumped. You will not get bumped. That's what's so good about that. So that power band ratio has really impressed me the most out of them all, because that's going to affect the most amount of Guardians in this. And that's how you've got to look at it. Now we come to Grandmaster difficulty, which is gold and platinum rating or milestone. That power range is between 400 to 500, which is less Guardians than you think. It's not that many people. I mean, there'll be a few thousand. I don't know the exact player number right now on that. But there's less people at 400 than there is at 300, all right? I've spoke enough to so many players to know, and I've looked in the tower, on my clan friends, my friends list, and all that stuff. So I have a general feeling of it. If you attain a B rank, you'll get a +1 power bonus from 400 to 500, which is not a lot. B plus will be +2. That is nice, because B plus is easy to attain in that difficulty range. If you get an A grade, it'll be +3. And if you get an A plus, it's still +3, oddly enough. Right? I don't know why they've got it like that. But between those power levels, you'll get a tier 5. If you do A plus, I don't know about the 400 power range, but between 450 to 500, if you do an A plus rating, you get tier 5 gear guaranteed. All right? That's basically how that works. But that's not a good way to farm tier 5 gear, and I've explained that in the past. But moving on to the next difficulty, which is not a lot of us at all, between 500 to 550 grand, which affects me. This is the power range that affects me. Diamond rating. If I obtain a B plus, I get a +1 drop. Yeah, which now it's a -1. It's -1, so that's a bonus. Yeah. If I attain a A grade score, I will get a +2 power bonus drop. That is massive. I'll explain more why that is. And then if I get an A plus, it's yet again +2, which is odd. That's one thing I didn't like. So let me explain the difference between a +1 power bonus and a +2. It's not just a doubling effect. The reason why it's not just a doubling effect, and it's more than a doubling effect, is because on a +1 power ratio, you can keep getting bumped for hours. Not hours, but you know what I'm saying. You could say you need them boots, right? You keep needing boots, and you're just getting +1s on helmets and stuff, but that your helmet and your weapons are already +1. A +2 power bonus drop will alleviate power level bumps where you get no progress for an hour or 2 hours or what have you. It's a huge difference, the +2 from +1. So the 500 to 550 grind will be it'll be a lot easier in that sense, right? Huge difference. So to sum up that graph, right? I mean, getting +7 drops at normal difficulty is wild. You're going to be able to fly up anyways. I mean, you should just be doing Legendary Campaign. Legendary Campaign Kepler gives 100 power levels for free anyways. It gives 100 power levels for free, and I said that. That doesn't affect many people, like I've said, because most people are above that. Advanced, most people are above 200 power. Yes, we know this. But again, that's good. +6 power bonuses and stuff. On expert difficulty, getting a +5 on an A rank, that's also, you're going to fly up, right? Fly up between those levels. The master rank, which affects most of the player base from 300 to 400, getting a +4 drop. I mean, even if you just do B+, that's +3 power bonuses, right? You will fly up between 300 to 400 power, right? If I was to reset my account now and start at power 10 level and play the game as it is on that graph, you would be able to get to, I would say, 500 power within 2 weeks or a week if you're really dedicated to it, because you would fly up. Yeah, you would really fly up. Seriously, I'm not saying I'm going to do that challenge. I'm just saying that October 14th, if I was power 10 and I needed to get to 500 power, you could fly up. On those changes, you could definitely fly up. The 500, 550 grind, no, you wouldn't fly up. That would still be a long grind. But on a +2 power bonus from 500 to 550, that grind is about 15 hours. And the reason why I know that it's about 15 hours is because when I grinded from 450 to 500, that was around about a 15-hour grind on a +2 power bonus. So I already know that the time length, which 15 hours isn't that bad in the scheme of things, right? From 500 to 550. That's where it should have been from the start. And that's the issue with this. All right, so we'll take that image off. Now we'll start reading through the key points of yesterday's TWAB. So the number one thing is, hang on a minute, got my wrong image up. No, I've got it now. So bonus engrams give score rewards. Okay, speaking of improving the climb, no matter the difficulty or your power level, bonus engrams, yes, the green ones you see in the portal, will give score rewards in update 9.1.51, which releases on October 14th, may I remind you. What this means is that the extra score bonus rewards you get on top of your completion rewards will not have the same power as the engrams from the chest. How good these extra rewards are depend on your score in the grade, on your grade. So activities with the bonus engrams will always give you the chance to earn more rewards that will progress your power level further than before. Next paragraph, right? Now this is very important. Challenge modifiers will no longer adjust your activity combatant delta by -10 or -20. Instead, they will only increase your projected score and the described effect to the game. The way you can choose modifiers based solely on their effects and the score bonuses without worrying about making combatant power more difficult. New difficulty delta caps will be set for advanced, expert, master, grandmaster and ultimate difficulties that are lower than what players were generally forced to play before when using these challenge modifiers. This is questionable. This is a very questionable bullet point. I'll come back to this. So here's the proposed deltas. Normal delta cap for all portal activities will be 0. Advanced will be -10 at all times, no matter what your card is. -15 for expert, no matter the card. Master will be -20. Grandmaster will be -25. Ultimate will be -30. Okay. Let's move on to the next image, and I'll summarize all this. Next, timers. Timers will be removed from match-made portal activities, and the 5% minimum score time bonus has been incorporated into these activities. Lock loadouts will be removed from master and quick play activities. We're allowing join players joining progress for grandmaster and ultimate difficulty activities. We're streamlining challenge modifier, boon modifiers, and banes. Expert will have 1 challenge, 1 boon, and 2 banes. Master will have 2 challenge, 1 boon, and 2 banes. Grandmaster will have 3 challenges, 1 boon, and 2 banes. Ultimate will have 4 challenges, 1 boon, and no banes. And 2 banes, sorry. Alright? And this is the next bit. While we are intentionally changing portal difficulty customization, this is about conquests. Matchmaking and quick play, those changes will not affect conquests. So that's to do with matchmaking and quick play. Conquests don't get affected by those changes listed. Here's what conquests do. Conquests when they were introduced with the Edge of Fate, were designed with the delta power caps in mind, and they currently fit in well with the game as high watermark challenges for a given difficulty level. So the conquests are unique power delta, experts -20, masters -30, grandmasters -40, ultimate is -50. Finally, catch-up chest. This is very important to players. For players that are new or return to Destiny, we have something for you to, when update 9.1.51 launches on October 14th, we will add a one-time catch-up chest so you can jump right back into the game. This chest will have a set of portal gear and power level at 300, as well as an amount of unstable cores. And don't worry, if you are above the portal power, you will get a powerful upgrade instead. Oh, I didn't say that. So if we're above 300, we'll get a powerful upgrade instead. All right. So that'll probably be, if you're 500 to 550, it might be a +2 power bonus on a full set. That's all right. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I didn't actually notice that. So that is the information on what Bungie's the key points. So let's first talk about bonus engrams and what they're going on about, right? Because this is a massive change. So basically, it's the green engrams. Now, when they first mentioned bonus engrams, I thought they meant bonus focus, right? Because you've got bonus engram, you've got bonus drops, and then you've also got bonus focus. Two different things. I mean, even me, I play this game for hours and hours, and I still got confused. I was like, do they mean bonus focus or do they mean bonus drops? But they mean bonus drops. So essentially, all of these bonus drops, they haven't specified what grade you need to get, but I would suggest you get as high grade as possible, A grade at least. yeah, to ensure that these bonus drops drop at a +2 power bonus, +3, +4, depending on your power bracket. So basically, this mechanic will independently change how you play Portal. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to go through all of it. So look, +3 drops for Conflux, +3 drops for Caldera. So you're going to go through all of it. I'm going to go and then do K1. Then I'll go and do Skywatch. Then I'll be like, all right, I'm done. Let's go on to Fireteam Ops. +3 drops. See, that's 6 drops. Reclaim right there on that system is 6 drops. Do you understand? That'll be 6 drops at +2. Do you understand how good that is between 500 to 550? And if you're lower than that, this will work. The power level system will be sped up massively on this. So that's 6 drops for Reclaim. That's 4 drops for Conductor's Keep. That's 6 drops for Fallen Bunker. Because those bonus drops will be powerfuls. That's 5 drops for Fallen Saber. That's huge. So you will just go through all of the Portal. It'll be very good. This is how the Portal should have been from start. We're 73 days into Edge of Fate, and it's took until now to say this is what we'll do. Yeah? The system's in place for them to do it. These bonus drops should have been dropping powerfuls anyways. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to have a day of Portal that's going to be very varied. And then you'll be like, you know what? I've done all my PvE stuff. Let me go and play Crucible. I'll get 4 drops there for that. 3 drops, 1 completion reward. I don't know why it's 1 completion reward like. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You'll go where the bonus drops are. And in order to get more bonus drops, you can do these. Your dailies. Which, by the way, they're going to buff Seasonal Hub as well. They said in a previous TWAB a week or 2 ago that they were going to buff this further, but they haven't mentioned it in yesterday's tweet on exactly what they're doing with this. They said they've got more to come. By the way, there's more things to come than what they've said. I don't know why they don't just tell us it all now, though. Why they time getting even information they're telling us, I don't even know. So the bonus Engrams is a massive win. Now then, let's come on to the next thing. Right, this is where there's a double-edged sword to this. It's not all W's. Because the power level caps are going to be auto-delted. Right? So I'm between 500 to 550. So if I do a ultimate, it will be -30 automatic. These mods are going to lose their +10s and +20 combatant powers. Right? Because they're wanting to simplify and streamline it. However, this is when it comes into the plays. I'm going to have to play at -30 delta the entire time. I'm going to have to play at -30 delta the entire time. Now, based on the system, I only need A grade scoring, right? So let me tell you what I do now, okay? It's really simple what I do now is I just put on, I don't need that, pressure cooker, 2 shear or equipment locked, no starting ammo, look at the score, 1.310, right? So we come to this. So 1.310, for me, I need A-grade scores, and for a lot of you, even above, 400 powers and stuff, you want A-grade scores as well, right? Well, it's really simple. I can play this at power, right, and get the 15% time bonus from pressure cooker to then exceed 1.462, because what's 15% of 1.310? Well, it's more. When you add 15% on top of your reward score forecast, it will turn automatically into an A-grade score. Right now, that is technically easier than what they're suggesting with the -30 delta at all times. Now, it won't affect me that much because I'm used to playing -30s and -40 deltas. I'm used to it. But what they said there is that most players are playing at -40 now. No, they're not. Because I've just showed you how they're not doing that at all. We're not actually doing that. Sometimes we are actually doing that, and there are hills in the power climbing where at certain levels, like at 270, I remember there was a bit of a hill. If you remember from 400 to 410, there was a hill because you were having to play at -40, -50 dollar. So what they said in that bullet point of players are having to play more than -40 and stuff, and that's not always true. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Now, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to play -30 delta all times at ultimate. On GM, it'll be -25 at all times, right? Which isn't too bad. But the thing about this is, though, now this is a bit pro Bungie. I'm being a bit pro Bungie here. What's the point in adding this new difficulty called ultimate if it doesn't do what it says? If you remember, from Shadowkeep 2019 to this year, July, Grandmaster has been one hell of a difficulty that has carried the game for years in terms of we loving it as players. That minus 25 delta being a stone, right? That's been a trademark of what a Grandmaster is. So I think we should be playing ultimate content at minus 30 or minus 25 or something. The problem with that is that that means you're always at minus 30 delta for everything that you do when you're leveling in the game. And to have the game only be about level for that extended amount of time will drain players' energies. Now it won't drain mine as much as it would drain yours, but it's a massive point, right? So this is where it comes to what I prefer, right? I think that the Conquest should have been the pursuit between 500 to 550, and that we should have to be playing these to get up in level. And that should start at Grandmaster level. The Conquest should have been the vessel to get us up for that last 50 power level. The portal should not get us up anymore. It should only be Conquests. And they should give you +4s, +5s, and give you 3-4 drops each run, because they're much more difficult than portal activities. That's what should have been. Yeah, they've mentioned that the deltas for Conquests are different. The problem with these Conquests is that, look, I've already completed it. Fallen Saber, Conquest already complete. These are not farmable like they said they were. They said they were going to be farmable, and they're not. Because none of this stuff gets you up to 550. So we can't keep doing this, right? I mean, I believe in a different power bracket you probably can. I think so. Someone's going to have to let me know that. But the Conquest should have been the vessel for leveling, right? Basically, in my opinion. But they should have rewarded heavily, like massively, like 5-6 drops at +5 and stuff. So, like, let's put it in context. To get from 500 to 550, I reckon if you've done 20 Conquests or maybe 15 Conquests, that should guarantee you 550 power, because you've just went through hell to get it. You see, this would have been the better vessel for the endgame power level pursuit. But no, they didn't do it like that. So basically, Conquests are still nerfed, and they haven't found. These should be our weekly Grandmasters. The old weekly Grandmaster playlist. Yeah? And if they're not going to buff Conquest, then bring back the weekly Grandmaster playlist then. The proper one. The one that we used to have. And have that, and give it its own loot like it used to have. They've went backwards with this. And I'm sick and tired of trying to tell people about it. Conquests are rubbish. They're rubbish. They're rubbish for loot. They're rubbish for loot. The portal can do much better than all of this. Yeah? Pretty much. So that's the situation on that, right? Okay, with the Conquests and stuff. Now, the catch-up chest is going to get you to 300 power October 14th. Like I've told you, the average power level of the community base, player base right now is above 300. Most people are above 300 power, right? They really are. It's been 73 days since Edge of Fate. There's nobody that's sitting at 220 who plays this game every week. So I think that has been stingy. That catch-up chest should be at least 400, not 300. It's a good idea, but I think 400 or even 450 should be the goal for that. There's still time between now and October 14th. I think this has been done on purpose, by the way, with these proposed changes. Because I'm like, they've said that the proposed changes are coming, but they're leaving it another 2-3 weeks. We can't wait 2-3 weeks. Are you seeing that the D2 community player base is on fire at the minute? Do we know it's on fire? We can't wait another 3 weeks, right, for something like this, with the changes that are overwhelmingly, a lot of them are good, but there is some criticisms with the deltas, for sure, right? So 300 power is not enough for somebody to catch up. You're already 300 power, probably. So for a 450 catch-up chest would be good. 450, then now that is substantial. Now we can think about, hang on a minute, that's pretty good. That's putting everybody on some sort of similar footing. The power grind from 10 power to 550 is essentially a 3-month plus grind. They give us a 3-month grind plus, because the portal didn't launch as it should. It stumbled and stumbled. Portal's good. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with the portal. It's the power level and bonuses around it. It's really simple to fix it. Just double all the drops. Double all the drops and double the power bonus drops. which that's what essentially some things they are doing. So I'm just thinking if there's anything else now. So I've covered that. But yeah, like I say, going back to the how it is now, you can literally do ultimate content at power level and get up. But again, ultimate is a new difficulty, so it should be a new test. It says the ultimate test. It's meant to be above Grandmaster, and it fell on its feet because it's not anything. The only activities in the game that are truly ultimate are the Conquests. But you need to level up to 510, 535 to complete them, minimum. Not only that, another criticism is that there's two criticisms I've got. Guardian ranks have been time-gated. For 73 days now, they've time-gated Guardian rank 11. It's time-gated currently now behind seasonal challenges because there's not 25 seasonal challenges to do. If we come here, 7, 14, 20, we're at 20. So he's next on week 12, are they going to give us 4? So it's seasonal times 24, and we need another week to do it to unlock the next Guardian rank. They're locked behind this stuff. I've got to go and find all these Golden Age technologies. I don't want to do that today. I'm too busy. I've got other things to do. So I'm going to have to go and do all that to prep my Guardian rank 10. I like Guardian ranks. I like the rework. I like that it's portal-based. What I don't like is the time gating of it. I don't mind a little bit of time gating, but to time gate it over 3-4 months for Guardian rank 11 is crazy. That's crazy work. Plus, there's extra things that you get from the Guardian ranks, and it's intrinsic and works pair to pair with the portal for your level and your bonus. Look, it says completing or renewing advanced ranks adds bonus drops to all portal activities. So somebody at Guardian rank 10 and 11 are going to be a little bit better than a Guardian rank 9, 8, 7, 6. So as you see now, the issues, right? Now the next issue is unstable cores, and that has not been, we need a conversation about materials, endgame materials in this game. Yeah? Unstable cores, they cap out at 999,000. Now, 2 weeks ago, I had 800k of these suckers. I had 800,000 unstable cores. I have spent 750,000 cores in the last 2 weeks. Is that my lack of knowledge? Because I don't think it is. It's just me wanting to diversify my builds. Because the game wants you just to play one build. So all right then, I'll just play Bolt Charge Titan for 6 months then. Because if I did, I would be sitting at 999k cores. But that's just not how the game's meant to be played. It's meant to be diversified. This is a massive backstep from upgrade modules. Don't let any players tell you different. This is true. This unstable core thing is nowhere near as good as our old upgrade modules. Upgrade modules were very streamlined and easy to understand. Nobody was complaining saying, I hate upgrade modules. I want them to change it. It worked fine. Everyone understood an upgrade module. I mean, what is the difference between an upgrade module and unstable cores? It's the same vessel. It's the same mechanic. Just that it's given to you in different currencies and different contexts. Whereas an upgrade module was +1. Buy 25 upgrade modules from Bungie, upgrade 25 items for a couple of cores. That was it. We didn't need unstable cores to be 999,000 and then an item would cost 20k to upgrade from power 10 to 550. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this in our defences. The next thing is, what's the point in ascendant allies, right? What is the point of ascendant allies? Because they've basically... Their vision is not crafting, right? My vision is crafting, though. My vision is, in actual fact, right, to ease the vault space, is to literally just introduce crafting to a whole host of areas of the game. This would alleviate all vault space. They wouldn't need to keep upgrading vault space because you could have a vessel to go and get a weapon again if you need it, to go and get another weapon with a certain god roll if you need it, right? So, I mean, it's a little odd, right? Because we did craft the new exotic hand cannons. So they are saying in another sense, they do want us to craft, but only exotic weapons do they want. They don't want you to craft legendary weapons. In my opinion, because I've played Destiny 1 and 2 now, 10 years plus, with the perk system, right? And I can wholeheartedly tell you that I think that Destiny 2 would be better if it was just all mods. If just like the Warframe system and the First Descendant system, where that you get a mod and you just pop it on the guns that you want in and out. And not only just that, to change the element of the weapon as well, like we did in 2017, changing guns from Solar Void Arc, and you could go on and forth. So, for example, I could change Festival Flight to a Solar GL, Area Denial GL. Imagine that I could do that. That would be crafting. And a lot of arguments about people not wanting crafting is because, well, if I get the God rolls, I stop playing. Who stops playing when they get good weapons? I don't. I play more. When I get God rolls, I play more because I want to test it and I want to test that weapon. I guess some of you just don't test weapons. The crafting didn't alleviate or stop the player base from growing. That wasn't the truth. The truth was that it was lack of content that stopped the player base from growing. It was nothing to do with crafting. They were used crafting. People used it as a scapegoat to say that is why the game's failing. And that was absolutely false. That wasn't. If that's true, then why are we crafting Graviton Spike? Have I got it on me? I haven't got it on me. Why did we craft Graviton Spike in Edge of Fate? I would honestly prefer a mod system like Warframe where you just pop attrition orbs in a gun, you pop demo in a gun, and you can have it in and out, in and out. This would alleviate all vault space, and in that case, in that scenario, you wouldn't need 700 spots. In actual fact, you'd only need about 400. You wouldn't even need 700. They wouldn't need to go to this trouble of having to upgrade the vault every time with Renegades. They're going to add so many, is it 100 or 200 extra slots or something. Whereas if the game was just a mod game, right, it would be far better in my opinion, right? Now, I'm not saying that they need to make it like Warframe in every sense, but with the Destiny 2 sandbox and the playback loop of how good Destiny 2 is, with mods as a mod game instead of a perk game, change it from perks to mods, because we've had perks for such a long time now. Not only that, they're going to upgrade the tier system. So, for example, my Festival Flight is tier 4. I'm going to be able to upgrade this to tier 5 in Renegades. What did I tell you all? I told you before Edge of Fate launched, I said the tier system, whilst it is a good system, we should be allowed to upgrade tiers from one to the next with some currency. But they didn't want to do that at Edge of Fate launch. They've now waited until now to say, oh, well, we'll do that in Renegades. Well, hang on a minute. That'll be 4 or 5 months in. We haven't got time to wait 4 or 5 months. There needs to be action now about stuff like that. But developer time and all that stuff. Basically, what has happened is you've gotten the tier system at a 1.0 version and the portal system at a 1.0 version. And that stuff's going to get upgraded to the 2.0 version, but that takes time and patience. Luckily for Bungie, this is the only game on the market that fulfills this role. Luckily for them, so they've bought themselves time because there's nothing else that fulfills this role. Warframe doesn't because it's third person. The First Descendant does not because it's third person. Yeah, you've got Borderlands 4 that does fulfill some sort of similar role to Destiny 2, but not exactly, and it's not clear on how good the end game is yet in that game. On the weekly reset, we need to see 6 months down the line. Is people still going to play Borderlands 4 in 6 months? I've already seen a depreciation in numbers on Borderlands 4 for Twitch. Yeah, it's significantly worse than what it was a week or two ago, is Borderlands 4. Although I think Borderlands 4 is probably a 9 out of 10 game. I think it's brilliant. I think it's awesome. I think it's amazing. But that game has issues as well. It's not always clean cut with this. It's not like it's easy to make this type of game, because if it was, every developer would. So to fight for Bungie's corner, it's that. They've got time because there's no competition, right? And that's the thing. So that is the information on this level and processes. Just quickly to summarize, on October 14th, you'll be able to get 300 power automatic, which won't affect many players. When you log on, you'll just go and bounce from all activities. You will look and bounce through them all to get the bonus drops. And when you run out of bonus drops, you will do dailies to get more bonus drops. Also, they will buff the seasonal reward track, but I don't know the exact details on it. So these drops might be +2 or +3 or whatever. And they should be anyways, right? They should be anyways. So that's the video on this power leveling situation. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.